Hello, lovely students, and welcome to day one of the Vocabulary Expansion Challenge. I am so excited to get started. We are going to begin with a really important topic. We use this topic all the time in our daily conversations. It is likes and dislikes. And I'm going to get quite personal with this one. I'm going to tell you what I like and dislike, and some of these things I probably shouldn't say. I'm going to read through the text. I will go through the main vocabulary. There are 15 new vocabulary words and phrases today. There is also some extra vocabulary. I will go through some of that, but there'll be a full list down below. When I'm finished, you have all of the exercise questions, and then you can head over to the community, and I want to hear about what you like and dislike. I tell you what, there are loads of things I really appreciate in life. The first thing I simply adore is my house. I always take great pleasure in telling everyone how old it is. Can you believe it's over 300 years old? The only thing is, it requires a lot of maintenance, which is a real pain in the arse sometimes. Then there's the garden. I'm crazy about being out in the garden, as long as I'm doing the fun stuff. I can't stand all that boring stuff, cutting the grass, trimming the hedges. I try to pass that stuff on to my husband. But that feeling when the flowers bloom or fruits come into season, just pure bliss. Especially the ones I cherish the most, my precious peonies and alliums. But not those gerberas, yuck. I mean, they're nice looking, but they just remind me of my nasty aunt. Anyway, I also really enjoy growing my own food. There is nothing better than eating something that you've grown yourself. That brings me a real sense of satisfaction. After all the food is grown, one of life's little pleasures is to cook all those wonderful veggies in the kitchen. You must try my canapes. They are to die for. The only thing I have a problem with is getting all the other things that I can't grow myself. I really don't care much for spending hours searching around the supermarket for all the ingredients for a meal. It makes much more sense to get everything online. Whew, I'm a little bit naughty talking about gerberas. It's true though. I have an aunt that I don't get along well with, and whenever she has a dinner party, she always puts green gerberas on the table. And I just can't stand them by association. Is there anything, let me know in the community, if there is anything that you hate because you associate it with someone else. Try to use some of the vocabulary that we're going to talk about now. Okay, we have 15 vocabulary words and phrases relating to like and dislike. Let's take a look at the first one. We have to appreciate, which is to know the value or the significance of something. We can use it to say thank you, I appreciate the flowers you gave me. Or you can use it to say, I really understand how much effort or how much money went into something. I appreciate the time you've taken today. Or I appreciate how difficult that must have been for you. I understand. We also have to adore. To adore. This is arguably a little bit stronger than love. I love cake. I adore cake. I absolutely love it. We can use it to talk about things and people. My brother adores his girlfriend. I just adore dark chocolate. It's heavenly. We also have to take great pleasure in. I love this phrase, to take great pleasure in something or in doing something. This means to really enjoy something or to really enjoy doing something. I take great pleasure in fishing. I really enjoy doing it. You can use it in a negative way. You can say, I take no great pleasure in, and this means I really don't want to do this. People often use it before they're going to fire someone. I take no great pleasure in telling you that I have to let you go. I have to dismiss you, to fire you. Number 4, a negative one, a pain or a pain in the arse. A pain is a more neutral one that's less offensive. A pain in the arse is a little bit rude because arse means bottom or bum, and it can be considered a vulgar term. It's someone or something that is irritating or annoying. Billy can be a right pain in the arse sometimes. I wish he'd listen. We also say pain in the neck if we want to avoid using arse. We might use this around children. You're such a pain in the neck, in the neck. We also have to be crazy about. To be crazy about something is to be really interested or attracted to something. Since I first heard their album, I've been crazy about their music. I've been obsessed with it, really interested in it. I'm a super fan. We have number 6, to not be able to stand something or someone. This means to be unable to tolerate something or someone because you feel a strong sense of disgust or dislike. I can't stand it when men touch my lower back, for example. This is true. I don't like that. Or I can't stand that comedian. He doesn't make me laugh. Number 7, pure bliss. This means complete happiness. Pure bliss. When I was lying on the beach looking out to sea, it was pure bliss. It was complete happiness. Number 8, to cherish. To cherish. This means to hold something dear or to have a deep appreciation of it. It's very sentimental to cherish something or someone. In marriage vows, we say to love and to cherish. An example, I really cherish the time I spend with my children. They'll be grown up in no time. Number 9, yuck. Yuck. The way I feel about my aunt's flowers. She's never going to take one of my English courses, so I feel that I'm safe to tell you here. Yuck is an expression of disgust. Yuck, there's a worm in my salad. We often used to find worms in our salads at school, and they told us it was a sign of it being very fresh. So it was seen as a positive. Number 10, there's nothing better than. There's nothing better than. This is a phrase used to say that something is the best. There's nothing better than getting into a bed with clean sheets. Or one for the ladies, there's nothing better than getting into clean sheets with freshly shaved legs. If you've never shaved your legs before, you won't know how this feels. You feel like a silkworm. Or there's nothing better for me than an ice cream on a hot day like this. It really is the best feeling. We have number 11, to bring someone a sense of satisfaction. We can also say a sense of pride. This is to get a pleasant feeling when you complete something that you really want to do. When I finished that puzzle, it brought me a huge sense of satisfaction. Number 12 is one of life's little pleasures. One of life's little pleasures. This refers to a seemingly unimportant thing that brings you a lot of joy and satisfaction. For example, a long hot bath is one of life's little pleasures. Or hot toast with melted butter is one of life's little pleasures. You've got to tell me in the community about your little pleasures in your life as well. I always find it funny to ask my students that because they come up with such random things, but I can relate with nearly all of them. Another of life's little pleasures for me is when you're in a group of people and the dog chooses you. It just makes you feel good. Number 13 is to die for. To die for. If something is to die for, it is absolutely gorgeous. Have you tried their new strawberry sundae? It's to die for. Or, oh my God, your dress is to die for. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's an especially British phrase. Number 14 is to have a problem with something. To have a problem with something. And this is to disagree with something or to not want to do something. I have a problem with working on Sundays. I don't agree with it. I don't want to do it. We can also use it in a positive way. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with working overtime because they pay me more money. Finally, we have to not care much for. If you don't care much for something, you don't really like it, you don't have a particular interest in it. I know a lot of people rave about beer, but I don't care much for it myself. I really like wine, but I don't care much for gin. That's it for the main part of the vocabulary lesson. We do have lots of extra vocabulary as well. I'm going to go through some of it. I mentioned trimming the hedge. To trim is to cut, but it's gently in a considered way. If someone says, are you going to have your hair cut? I might say, yes, but I'm just going for a trim, just a little cut. Trimming means cutting in order to make something look neat or tidy. I mentioned peonies, alliums and gerberas. These are all types of flowers. Peonies are like big fat rose style. They're not roses, but they look like big fat roses. They start off in a big ball and they open up like that. Alliums come from the onion family and they look like fireworks. They just open like this. And gerberas come from the daisy family. They look like big daisies. They come in the colour green. I don't want green flowers in my garden. I've got enough leaves. I also spoke about canapes. And these, oh, I just love canapes. Okay, canapes are miniature sort of snacks that you have normally before a meal. They're normally savoury. Sometimes it's bread with a topping, but they can get really creative with them now. A really great canapé that I had at our wedding is a mini Yorkshire pudding that we have with our Sunday roasts, but tiny, with a little bit of beef on top. And you're meant to eat them in one bite. If I had had my way, our whole wedding would have been just canapes. No meal, just everything miniature. Right, that's it for today's lesson. Oh, I really enjoyed that lesson. It was a very positive topic, but I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Don't forget to complete all of the exercise questions and then go and visit the community. There's a question for you to answer and you can share your likes and dislikes and put some of this new vocabulary into practice. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2 where we're continuing with this topic. Bye.